Hi friends. If you click to check out the BARNES Sculpting and Contour Face Palette, then please keep on watching. Hi, my name is Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things, all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. I have the Chic Cheek palette face review here on my channel. I will post that video link up above and down below. I saw that this recently was back in stock, wanted to grab it as it was out of stock for a long time. I was very much impressed by his blush palette and decided to give his sculpting palette a go. And I actually was most intrigued by this one out of all his pro palettes because of this color right here. I was like, wait a minute, I just wanted to try it. So as you saw, that was the paper sleeve. This is the actual palette, very much consistent with how his palette designs are, with the big name on the lid. It is magnetic with this lip, and then you have a mirror inside. We're looking at 8 powders total. This is not magnetic, as I don't believe any of the palettes are, so these pans are glued. I have the website on for us so we can get some product details. This product retails for $58, like his Chic. It is currently still in stock. I believe these palettes can only be purchased from his website, scottbarnes.com. Says here, the BARNES Sculpting and Contour palette is truly a work of art. Inspired by Scott's fine arts background, I forgot to mention that in my first video, sculpting and contour is the artist's dream. Incredible colors carefully positioned for mixing new combinations gives the user extreme flexibility to shape and feather even the strongest color contours into a seamless silky bliss. Many contour palettes prioritize luma, the brightness or darkness, whereas Scott's prioritizes the chroma. Luma and chroma. Learning something new every day. The color information, the misplaced priority on most contour palettes. With a strong understanding of all skin types and shades, Scott has masterfully crafted a contour palette that is truly a cut above. With extremely minimal fallout and kickback on the brush, high color payoff, and being blending friendly, sculpting and contour gives contour lovers a surgical tool they didn't realize they've been missing. I gotta say, friends, I used this a little bit last night because it came in the mail yesterday. I got home late but just wanted to tinker with it, liked it. Applied it again this morning, and I'm quite impressed by the blendability, the softness, how easy they are just to melt into the skin. So again, here it is up close, and just a couple of product details here. It is cruelty free. We're looking at a total net weight of 0.875 ounces or 24.8 grams of product. You're getting a lot of product. Designed in USA but made in the People's Republic of China. You all have a lot of opinions about that, so if you're okay with that, great. If not, fine. And here are the powders up close. I have to say, this is very interesting. I don't know a lot about luma and chroma. If any of you do and wish to break it down below, that would be great. I'll also do a little research myself. But this is interesting and maybe helpful is for me, perhaps, just so I could better apply these powders and get the most out of it. One of you had mentioned that there was a strong oil paint type of scent in your palettes. I do smell it here, but I have to put my nose very close to the pans. I didn't smell it as prominently in my blush palette. I don't really know. People are like, it's because it's made in China. Well, I think, glue is glue. I don't know, they have a special glue in China that they insist on using that's particularly stronger in glue that they use in Italy or the USA or in France. We'll see. I'll let you know if the scent dies down over time. Keep you guys updated. I'll proceed like I did with my Cheek palette. I'll swatch, then apply. I will also include all the products I have on my face down below so you can take a look at what I have foundation, concealer, and powder wise. With that said, friends, why don't you come in a little closer? That's enough. All right, we got the foundation. I am lightly powdered, and I actually want to start with, I'll start with Chiseled, which I feel is my ideal contour shade from the palette. He doesn't include any shade description, so I'm just going to show it here. It seems like, first of all, the texture is beautifully smooth. We're looking at maybe I would consider this like a neutral brown leaning on the peachy side. which I actually rather liked. So let's take a look at that. Going with my Refer brush number 4, which by the way, hey, I am now an affiliate with them. They're trying out this program. They're testing it out. They are offering up a discounted price for their brush sets. I will put all the details down below. My discount code is kinkysweat, and that will allow you to go from $440, yes, $440, because these are custom made per order, down to $299. But if you want to order the bronzer brush, that is available for free if you buy the set, and that is available immediately. So that will be sent to you, the number 22. It will take a while, friends. We're looking at 10 to 12 weeks because again, these are all made to order. There are a lot of back orders now, so we're not in a rush to get the Refer brushes, but I do want to mention that, and a huge thank you to Refer for including me in their partner program. This is not sponsored by them, but since I happen to be picking up a brush, I thought I would mention that. And again, we'll put all those details down below. So let's take a look at Chiseled. These are very easy to blend. Yes, hello, you're gonna focus on me. But they pack a punch. So actually I'm gonna go in with this side of the brush and just tap. And you get the color there fast, friends. What am I doing without my mirror? So that actually packs quite a punch, but I like that it still leans a little warm, and traditionally for contour you would use something on the cooler side and something warmer just to perhaps give your complexion that dimension, a little bit of, again, that overall sun-kissed look. But I actually really like this as a no makeup day type of feel. If I don't want to go in with a traditional bronzer, maybe the ones that I have are too warm. What is that? Sounds terrible. That is a sad sounding truck, friends. You've got to be kidding me. Texture wise, the powders melt beautifully into the skin. You don't need a lot. You could actually pat down like I did and carefully go in for the blend. If you wanted to use a bigger brush instead of the small brush that I used, and I feel the powders move around pretty well, pretty easily across the skin. Now, just for trying, these are very soft. Slice already is cracking a little bit, so do be careful with how you handle this in home. This did not crack freshly from the package, but if you happen to put it down roughly or some sort of way, it could crack your powders, okay? This is really bothering me. Why? I don't want that. I think Carve will be my best bet to use as a contour shade. What do we think? Maybe we could try, I think Diced will be a little too, I think that'll be a little too cool for me. Let's go in with Carve, shall we? I'll pick another brush also to try that out. Going with my Beauty Pro. In with Carved. Let's see how that looks like as a more traditional contour shade. It will actually show up. Not too bad at all. It's definitely a lot more subtle. You see here how much warmth we have versus what we get from Carve. In that case, you could probably use Carve first and then go in with something warmer if you want more of this effect versus a cooler effect. I also have her Detail Pro on standby. We'll take Carve and just drop it down the side of the nose. I think that's a great shade to use for nose contour, as I usually don't do this often because I feel I never have the right shade to accomplish nose contouring with. Now here's a look at Sculpt. Sculpt is rich. I actually used this today to smoke on my lash line, so we can do that as well if you like. Frame has a little more to it. Definitely more brown in nature. I feel the first shade we swatched is a little more warm. This definitely a little more, it's still neutral, but it has a little more richness to it. Hashtag shade we're definitely applying, because I was like, is this used as maybe a blush? But as he was explaining with Luma and Chroma, maybe if you're a certain skin tone and shade, this works out better as a contour shade for you. I really don't know. Explain down below. Dice, did we already do Dice? I think we did. I think Dice is like here. And then we have Sliced. Sliced is definitely one of the warmer definitely more yellow. And lastly, we have Snatched, which almost has like an olive undertone to it. It's quite interesting. Very comprehensive in terms of including several different undertones, and the textures are beautiful. So I think now we'll go in with, we went in with Chiseled. Why don't we go in with Sliced, just so you can see how that does. Sliced with my Wayne Goss number 11. I'm gonna go over Carve. Is that the shade that we applied first? That's nice. I think it kind of reminds me of what Mango Fizz does from Chic Cheek, that it's not super, interestingly enough, even though it swatched like whoa here, it doesn't show up crazily on the skin, which is great. And which indicates to me that, like I experienced with his blush palette, that these are very much layer friendly. You know what I mean? And I really want to show you guys shade. I like shade a lot. This pinky shade here, same Wayne Goss number 11 brush. I want to tap that higher on the cheekbone, and then I'll whip it around to further blend it. It's a fun shade. I don't really know how I'm using this. I'm probably using it wrong and putting it on this side as well. But man, oh, excuse me. Man, oh man. I like it. I like it as like a everyday type of, not traditional blush, right? But it has that pinky rosy hue that could add that flush to the skin on a no makeup day. So this is with Carve, and what is it called? Sliced. That warmer yellow shade here, and then we have hashtag shade with Chiseled on this side. And despite how many powders I have on, still looks pretty smooth on the skin. Up close, you see that the skin looks pretty smooth still, I feel. And I think they layer beautifully well. I think they're lightweight, they're very soft, very easy to blend, and I find with the number of brushes that we've already used thus far, I've been successful with all of them. Now, if you want to take a look at maybe how some of these look on the eyes, I actually used my Detail Pro this morning, so we'll go in with the deeper shade. Let's go in with Frame, and I just take that bigger brush, because you know what, since this is more like sculpting the eyes, I'm not so much into using a more precise smaller brush that I would usually use with traditional eyeshadow. I think that's a great shade to use like on an everyday no makeup day that you need a little something on the eyes, just a little something on the eyes. And then you can see how Chiseled looks. Chiseled definitely appears softer. Oh, I gotta blend that out, hold on. Appears a little softer, but also I feel is a different undertone altogether. This is a lot more cooler, and this, as you see, more warm. I like this as like an everyday type of shade that if you don't want to wear eyeshadow, sometimes I don't, but I do want something on my crease so that it ties in with what's going on in the face. Let's take Snatched with my Sonuji Jumbo Blender. I'm just gonna pat that on the, oh my god, that definitely packs a punch. So if you wanted to use this on the eyes as a smoky outer V shade, you very much could. Wow. I'm actually gonna drop that under the lower lash line. Going back in with my Detail Pro, hello, eyebrows, and just further blending those two out. That's nice. You could probably place this all over the lid as well. Just have like a smoky all matte look, you know what I'm saying? And now using Sculpt, the darkest shade in here with my flat definer. I use this shade as a lash situation. I thought it was really great to use. And again, I've been doing smoky wings more often since I have this brush. I feel more confident in going in with this technique because I felt before it will always turn out just strange in terms of the wing didn't look right, the angle was off. That brush makes it so easy. And that's such a great shade to add a little dimension and definition to the lash line if you don't want to use a traditional pencil. And I'll place it also on the outer third of my lower lash line. And there you go, look at that. Look at that little something. And I'm sure if you wanted something smokier, you're more than welcome to apply Sculpt on the outer more portion of your outer V. So you see how this more has like a flushed effect and this more of like a sculpted effect. Actually, I would have liked to keep hashtag shade a little higher on my cheeks. I think I brought it a little too low. With that, I'm taking my Wayne Goss Holiday brush from 2018 with my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder, and I'm just whipping it so that I can buff down the color richness a little bit more so it doesn't look as crazy. I like this side a lot. I'm definitely going to use Carve more often as a contour shade, and it's nice that it definitely gives me contour and it doesn't look gray, and it didn't turn muddy when I applied Sliced on top, which usually sometimes happens. Maybe it's the brush, because before I wasn't using these brushes when layering different tones of powder, and I find when doing so, my final cheek look appeared very muddy and just heavy on the face and didn't have that dimension and really nice contrast. It just looked flat, and it looked like the powders were just mixing up on the very surface of my skin and just sitting there. But I feel I was successful with layering the different undertones of these shadows. Well, it could be face powders, and I think overall the look just looks cleaner and a lot less smutty. And great to know you can also use these on the eyes. So what I did this morning, I took my Hourglass ambient lighting powder in luminous light, and usually with the no makeup look I tend to not apply highlighter, but I will apply like a luminous kind of radiant powder. So this is my Chikuhodo, my very expensive P8 powder brush. I know. So I just get enough to whip it on the highest points of my cheekbone so it could just tie in really nicely, and I buff everything around. Look at this, look at that brush. Look how this is the most feather light, softest brush I have ever tried in my life. I mean, I can do this all day. That's how beautiful it feels. I mean, come on. And I feel it's like the finishing touch, especially on a no makeup day or a very low makeup day, that you buff down all your cheek products and they just melt harmoniously together. Everything looks like skin, has a natural finish. Go in my Vision Moisture Boost Lip Shine in Beignet. I using these suckers non-stop. Alright friends, here is the final look from the demo. Let me know what you think down below. This is really not so much to make you buy it. It was more so if you have the palette and maybe you are using it often, just to kind of showcase the different ways you can use these powders, and in a way that if Sculpt is too deep for you, you can still use it on the eyes if you wanted a very chill makeup day. Let me know if you are deeper skin tone than me, if you happen to have this palette, how Sculpt looks. I mean, I could probably very lightly try it on me quickly right here. So I'm ending the video. But you know what? We're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. I'm taking my Sonergy Sculpt 2, the very edge of the brush. And let's see. Oh my god. I mean, if it was Halloween, then I would use that color to really intensify the shade. And ideally, I will probably apply this first. It doesn't look bad from here. It did turn muddy because keep in mind, I did apply the Hourglass powder and I think it kind of mixed up with that and also what was on my cheeks. But I have to say though, if you spend a little time blending it away, it's okay. But this was not the ideal application technique that I would have used anyway. So don't mind me, I was just curious about the color. But if you wanted to try it, I would go in with that shade first, blend it very well, not use a lot, and then go on top with the other powders here. My standout favorites, if you are my skin tone, I really love Chiseled as like a bronzer type of a sculpt. Crave works well on me as my contour shade. Hashtag shade I love as a blush. And Slice I really like as like a bronzer shade, if you will, on me. So let me know down below what your favorite shades are from the Sculpt and Contour palette. Tell us the details about Luma and Chroma if you are in fine arts as well. And yeah, how have you been using your palette and your favorite shades? And until then, friends, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, get ready with me, or Friday night chit chat. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.